Hello, my dear future engineers. How are you all doing? I hope you all are doing great. Okay, so previously we have seen many different things about a wave, and today's lecture is going to be very much important. Okay, because in today's lecture we are going to learn about a concept which will be used as it is in other lesson, for example wave optics. Okay, so I am your Abhi sir, or you can call me as A to K sir, and today lecture we are going to discuss a very important topic which I call as principle of superposition. In our previous chapter we have seen what? Velocity of wave. So what will be the velocity of a transverse wave, what will be the velocity of longitudinal wave, velocity of longitudinal wave in solid, liquid, gas, and we saw that Laplace correction. Okay, because actually they assumed that gas is isothermal in nature, but actually the gas was adiabatic in nature. Therefore we have to use a Laplace correction, and we got a formula. So initially it was P divided by rho. They assumed that gas is isothermal in nature, but after doing some experiment they found what? The gas is adiabatic in nature. Therefore they have to include this gamma. Okay, so if it is isothermal, we assume that PV is equal to constant. But if the gas is adiabatic, then PV power gamma is constant. PV is not constant. PV power gamma is only constant. Therefore we have to modify that formula. Okay, and we got this wonderful formula. Any difficulty? Any difficulty? I don't think you should have any difficulty at all. Okay, today the topic is going to be principle of superposition. We have a wave. Wave is what, sir? Wave is combination of infinite number of SHM. So let me say this is a wave. I have another wave. Okay, so this is a wave. Okay, I don't think so I am making something called as wave. I am doing something stupid. Okay, so this is a wave and this is another wave. Now when they both combine, what will happen? This is what we are going to study in today's lecture. If two waves combine, what will happen? So principle of superposition. When two or more wave, okay, two or more wave, generally we are going to use two waves. So if I have two or more wave of same nature, they are superposed, means they are added. Okay, they both meet at certain place. This is called superposition. The resultant displacement of the point of superposition is equal to vector sum. The resultant will be equal to vector sum. Okay, this is what superposition means. So if I have one wave, it is going to have up and down, right? It is going to have some maxima, minima, up, down motion. I have another wave, it will have up, down motion. If I add them both, I will get some resultant value, correct? So that is what superposition is. Example of superposition of wave is the formation of stationary wave. See, stationary wave is an example of superposition wave, because one wave in forward direction meets with similar wave which is coming in backward direction. This is how what is formed, stationary wave. About this we will be discussing in next lecture. Beats is formed of superposition of two waves which have slightly different frequency. Okay, almost equal. So let me say one wave is having a frequency of 500, another will be having a frequency of 504. So there will be a small gap in frequency. Like that beat is formed. Okay, interference, this is what today's topic of discussion is. Okay, so in order to get an interference, always remember superposition of two waves having equal frequency. The frequency should be same. Frequency should be same, and phase should be constant. The phase should not vary. Okay, this is very much important condition for interference. So whenever I need to have an interference, the phase frequency should be same and phase should be constant. What do I mean by constant phase, sir? See, if I am telling same phase, it means that phase cannot, the value of phase in two waves should be equal. If I am telling the phase should be constant, let me say I have a phase of 0 and you have a phase of 30. So the phase difference between us is always 30. It should not vary. Are you able to follow? If there is a difference between our phase, it should be always 30 only. It should not vary. Now it is 30, sir, later on it become 40, later on it become 50. That should not happen. Okay. So the phase, as a matter of fact, phase difference should be constant. So if I have a wave, so I can very well write this wave as A. So it can be small a or capital A, not an issue at all, bro. Okay. And I have another wave which is starting from here only. That wave is starting little bit away from, the wave is starting from here. It is, so let me draw. So these two waves are same, but my second wave is not starting from here. The wave is starting from here alone. Okay. So the wave should start from here, from 0, but the wave is starting from here only. So it is having some initial phase. So I can very well write that as y2 is equal to a sine of kx minus omega t plus some angle phi. Now if I ask you to add them both, so superposition, you said, yes, superposition is nothing but addition of wave. If I ask you to add y is equal to y1 plus y2, now you need to add them both. In order to add them both, you need to use formula. Do you remember what is sine of sine A minus B? What is sine of A minus B? Sine of A minus B is equal to sine A cos B minus cos A sine B, right? Can you recollect that formula? Similarly, you have to open the bracket for this. And it leads to a lot of confusion. It will lead to what? A lot of confusion. So better, apart from using this method for adding, use vector method. Sir, how, sir? This is sine. How can I use vector over here? Let me assume this to be my sine of kx minus omega t. Sir, but vector needs a direction. I have taken this direction as sine of kx minus omega t. Okay, I have taken this direction as sine of kx minus omega t. So what will be this, sir? If this is sine of kx minus omega t, this can be written of 90 degree. From here we are going 90 degree. So I can write this as sine of kx minus omega t plus 90 degree. Or in terms of radian, I can write that as pi by 2 radian. Sir, can we write sine of 90 plus theta as cos theta? Yes, very well, we can write that as cos theta. So cos of kx minus omega t. Just remember, if this is sine, this will be cos. This direction will be minus sine of kx minus omega t. Minus sine of kx minus omega t. Or else you can write this as, from here I am taking 180 degree, right? So I can write this as sine of minus omega t plus pi by 2. Sorry, plus pi, 180 degree, not 90 degree, right? Okay, sir, we understood the thing. But how to apply this into this? See, if I tell you this is the direction, what is the magnitude, sir? The magnitude is A. So first vector can be written as A. The magnitude is A. So this vector is representing what? What is this vector representing? This is representing a magnitude of A along with the direction of sine of kx minus omega t. Okay. Sine of kx minus omega t. Okay. And what is this wave representing? Sine of kx minus omega t plus phi. Sir, what is phi? Some angle. Some angle. Some angle. Okay. Any difficulty? So, what can be that angle? Some random angle. So, if this is sine of kx minus omega t plus pi, I can write this as phi. And I have the magnitude will be A. Are you able to follow? It should be A. So, the length should be reduced. Okay. Any difficulty? So this is A, this is y1, this is representing my y1 which has a amplitude of A. So this vector is representing my y1. It has amplitude of A and direction of sine of kx minus omega t. This vector is y2. It has magnitude of A and direction of sine of kx minus omega t plus phi. So what will happen to my resultant? Do I have separate slides for that? Okay. So this interference of two wave, this should go below that, okay? Or else I will take this above. No problem. So there are two waves. One has a magnitude of A, and let me say it need not be A. Let me assume my second wave is B. They need not be same. Amplitude can be different. Okay. So this vector is B. So if I have vector and another vector like this, I want you to find the vector sum of two vectors. What will be the vector sum of two vector? Resultant amplitude, okay. Resultant amplitude is equal to root of, do you remember the formula for vector addition? A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta, right? Because this is A, this is B, okay, this is A, this is B, and the angle between them is phi. So instead of cos theta, I can take phi. Any difficulty? Do you have any difficulty? Just a minute, I got a call from YTM. Okay, so I'm extremely sorry for the inconvenience. Okay, so actually Tamil Nadu counseling has started, so I went to record that video. Okay, so YTM called and said that we have to record a video, then I was doing that and I gave a live. So coming back to our topic, this is my one vector, this is my another vector. They are asking me to find the resultant. So resultant will be root of A square plus B square plus 2AB cos phi. Any difficulty? No, sir. Can I rewrite this as A square? So resultant, okay, this is resultant of amplitude, is equal to A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. Any difficulty? Just remember this formula. If A is equal to B, if I put A and B are equal, what will I get? Resultant of, I will be getting A square plus A square, because B is equal to A. Generally, if A and B are not same, use this formula. If A and B are equal, then use A square plus A square will give 2A square. So I will be getting 2A square plus 2A square cos theta. Correct? If I take 2A square common, I will be getting 1 plus cos theta. Using trigonometry, I can write 1 plus cos theta as 2 cos square theta by 2. So if I substitute that, I will be getting 2 cos square theta by 2. So 2 into 2 will become 4 A square cos square theta by 2. So it can be theta or phi, don't worry. Okay, don't get confused. So let me just make this as theta. Okay, let us, oh, we can't rub that. Okay. So this theta is equal to phi, don't get confused. So yeah, generally resultant amplitude can be given with this formula. If A and B are equal, then use this formula. Any difficulty? If A and B are equal, then use this formula. So what is interference? Interference is nothing but superposition of two waves having equal frequency. See, if I am talking about the frequency of first wave is omega, second wave is omega. That frequency means F only. If omega is same, then F will be same. Let me say this is omega 1, this is omega 2. If I tell omega 1 is equal to omega 2, then it means F1 is equal to F2, right? When two waves of same frequency traveling in a medium simultaneously in same direction, the waves are moving in same direction, they are superimposing, they are adding, then what will happen to the resultant amplitude and intensity? This is what we have found. And To your surprise, what will happen? We are going to have constructive and destructive interference. What do I mean? Let me explain you. Just give me a minute. So if they are asking me about the resultant amplitude, I can tell that resultant amplitude square is equal to generally a square plus b square plus 2ab cos theta. Any difficulty? And if they are asking me to find if a is equal to b, what will I get? Resultant of a square is equal to 4a square cos square theta by 2. Any difficulty? If a is equal to b. Okay, no difficulty. Now what will happen? See, if this is one vector and this is another vector, this is 3, this is 2, they both are in same direction. They are asking me to add them. If both the vectors are in same direction, what will happen, sir? If this is a, this is b, what will I get? A plus b is equal to, what is a plus b? Let me put this as 5. No, 4. Just take a number as 4. What will be the resultant? This is 3, this is 4. What will be the answer? Sir, 7. What will happen if this is 4 and this is 3? What will be the resultant? So you have to use Pythagoras theorem. And as per my Pythagoras theorem, if this is 3, I can draw 3 here. So as my Pythagoras theorem, the resultant will be 5. Correct? So we are adding, but this is vector addition. What will happen if I have 4 in forward direction, 3 in backward direction? What will be my resultant? 4 is upward, 3 is backward. 4 is forward, 3 is backward. What will be the resultant? 1. Correct? Any difficulty? No. So based on the way of adding, there are certain places in which I get my maximum value, and there are certain places where I get minimum value. Certain place I get maximum value, certain place I get minimum value. Okay. So condition for interference. What is the condition? Condition should be the interference between two sound waves must follow this condition. What should be the condition? Frequency should be equal. They should have equal frequency. And phase difference between them should be constant. The theta should be constant. Theta should not change. If there are two waves, they are having an angle 90 degree. So at any point of time, they should have an angle of 90 degree. What are the practical example of interference of sound? So if you are sitting in lecture hall, you are directly listening to the sound of the professor, and apart from that, sound is getting reflected from the wall and coming to your ears. So both the sound that are traveling, one is traveling directly, another is traveling like this, and both the sound are coming and meeting. But is the distance traveled by both the sound same? No, sir. There is some path difference. There is some difference in path, right? Or I can say there is some phase difference. Okay. Are they traveling same distance? No, sir. So there is some difference. Okay. So based on the difference, either you will be getting maximum value or minimum value. If they are in same direction, after having a phase difference, if they are in same direction, maximum. If they are in opposite direction, minimum. Any difficulty? No, sir. So interference of two wave. Let me say interference of two. Just a minute. I will just a minute. I have to rearrange the slides, right? This goes up. This will also go up. So interference of wave means we are adding two waves. Okay. So as we have discussed this one, we are adding two waves. So what formula we are using? This formulas we are using. Okay. And I will give you some shortcuts also. Don't worry about that. We can have constructive interference. What do I mean by constructive interference? Let me say this is one wave and this is another wave. Sir, you are drawing wave with the arrow mark. Wave should be like this, right? See, wave is sinusoidal in nature, right? So if I have a sinusoidal wave, I have represent that as vector. Simple. So if I am adding them, what will I get, sir? If I am adding them, this is my equation, right? What is the angle between them? If they are in same direction, theta is equal to 0. What is my theta? 0. What will happen? Resultant square is equal to a square plus b square plus 2ab cos 0. Cos 0 is 1. Can I write this as a plus b the whole square? Then what will happen to my amplitude? So this is my maximum amplitude. What will be my maximum amplitude? If this is resultant square, square get cancelled, so a plus b. So if two vectors are in the same direction, then I can write that as maximum value of them is a plus b, because they are in the same direction. So we are just adding them, right? What will happen if a is equal to b? If a is equal to b, then a max will be 2a. If a is equal to b, and even you can rearrange this formula. Okay, either you can have it like this or you can put it like this. A resultant is equal to root of a square plus b square plus 2ab cos theta. And this formula can be written as a resultant is equal to, if I am taking square root, 2a cos of theta by 2. So if they are asking me to add two vectors which have same magnitude, they are asking me to add two vectors which have same magnitude, then I can simply write this formula 2a cos of theta by 2. Let me quickly give you a tabular column. Theta by 2. I am going to substitute my value of theta by 2 and I am going to find what will be my a resultant. If theta by 2 is 0, what is the formula of a resultant? A resultant is 2a cos of theta by 2, right? 2a cos of theta by 2. If I put theta by 2 is equal to 0, what will I get? Cos of 0, 1. So I will be getting 2a. Or can I write this 2a as root of 4a? So why is an unnecessary thing? I will tell you. If theta by 2 is equal to 30 degree, what is cos 30? What is cos 30? So this is the value of theta by 2, not value of theta. What will be the value of theta? Okay, so 0. If theta is 60, theta by 2 will be 30. If theta is 90, theta by 2 will be 45. If theta is 120, theta by 2 will be 60. If theta is 180, theta by 2 will be 90. Right? So cos theta, root of 3 by 2. So 2a into root of 3 by 2. Just simplify it. You will be getting root 3a. Cos 45, 1 by 2. Sorry, 1 by root 2. So 2a into 1 by root 2. You will be getting root 2a. Next 120. So cos 60 will be 1 by 2. So 2a into 1 by 2. Can I write this a as root of 1 into a? Then finally it will be root 0a or simply 0. So the simplest way of remembering the thing is that if the angle between them is 0, 30, angle between them is 0, 60, 90, 120 and 180, the result will be root 4a, root 3a, root 2a, root 1a and root 0a. That is why I have given 2a as root of 4a. 2a is given as what? Root of 4a. Okay. Just remember these things. Okay. If both are in same direction, maximum will be a1 plus a plus b or a1 plus a2. We can tell if there are two waves, a1 plus a2 or a plus b. Okay. If there are two waves which are a1 and a2, you can write a max is equal to what? a1 plus a2. No issues. If one wave is in forward direction, another wave is in backward direction, then what is my theta? Theta is equal to 180 degree. Then my resultant square will be a square plus b square. And what is cos of 180? Because we have a formula of 2ab cos theta. So what is cos of 180? Minus 1. So I will be getting 2ab. So A resultant square is equal to, this can be written as A minus B the whole square. So my A resultant is equal to A minus B. Or if there are A1, A2, just put A1 minus A2. If one vector is A1, another is A2, put A1 minus A2. Any difficulty? And if A is equal to B, then what will be A minimum? 0. Okay. If A is equal to B, then A minimum will be 0. Any doubt? No, sir. So constructive interference. Constructive interference means both the wave are in same direction. Both the waves are in what? Same direction. So let me say one wave is in this direction, one other wave is in this direction. So if angle between them is equal to 0, or if one wave is here and another wave is having a phase difference of 2 pi. 2 pi means 1 revolution. So again they are in same direction. So again they both will add up. If one wave is in this direction, another wave is 4 pi ahead. 4 pi means again here 6 pi. So in general, I can write if my phase difference is equal to 2 pi into n, where n is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. In order to get path difference, okay, delta x, what should be path difference? See, if the phase difference is 0, path difference is 0. If one wave is here and another wave is 1 revolution ahead, what does it mean? In order to meet at one point, one wave is traveling like this and another wave is 1 revolution ahead, right? So it might have started 1 revolution ahead itself. So both the wave are going to meet at the same point. But this wave have traveled less distance and this wave have traveled more distance. How much difference, sir? 1 revolution. So in 1 revolution, can I write 2 pi is equal to lambda? 2 pi is equal to lambda. So my phase difference and path difference will be, instead of 2 pi, just put lambda. So if my phase difference is of order 2 pi n, then constructive interference. If my path difference is the difference in the path they have traveled. One wave have traveled 1 wave, 2 wave, 3 wave, 4 wave. Another wave have traveled 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay. So one has traveled 4 lambda, another has traveled 5 lambda. So what is the difference in the path? 1 lambda. So if path difference is in this order, where n is equal to 0, 1, 2. Okay, then what will happen? We will be having constructive interference. Any difficulty? So if it is constructive interference, my A maxima will be equal to A1 plus A2. What will happen to the amplitude? I can write my amplitude. Just remember, sorry, this is amplitude. What will be my intensity? Remember that A square is proportional to I. Okay. A square is proportional to I. So if I square this equation, okay, for your simplicity, I am squaring it. So A square max is equal to A1 plus A2 the whole square. So instead of A, I can write I, right? So I max, A square is equal to I max, is equal to, what will be A1? Root of I1, A2 root of I2, the whole square. So this will be my maximum intensity. This will be my maximum intensity. Any difficulty? So even you can write maximum intensity formula over here itself. From this equation I can write I resultant is equal to, okay, I1 plus I2 plus 2 root of I1 root of I2. Okay, I have taken this as A1, this as A2. So let me write it over here. So my A resultant square is equal to A square plus B square. Let me put it A1 and A2 plus 2A1 A2 cos theta. So if I have A square, I can put I. If I have only A, I have to put root of I, because I is proportional to A square. Then root of I is proportional to what? A. So if there is only A, put root of I. If there is A square, put this one. And from this formula, I can find intensity resultant. It will be resultant of intensity is equal to 4I cos square theta by 2. Or else you can use this formula. If you square them, square it, then find resultant. Same answer you will be getting. So if they are following this pattern, it is called constructive interference. What about destructive interference? If one wave is in forward direction and another wave is in backward direction. See, if there are two waves, they are in phase. Maximum, minimum, maximum, minimum, maximum, minimum. What about the angles at 0 degree? Pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, 4 pi, 5 pi, 6 pi, 7 pi. So if you observe, whenever my phase difference is equal to pi, 3 pi, 5 pi, 7 pi, and it goes on. How can I write this mathematically? 2n plus 1 into pi. Or else I can put 2n minus 1 also. Now let me put n is equal to 1. If I put n is equal to 1, what will I get? 2 into 1 is 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. So 1 into pi. If I put 2, I will get 3. 3, 5. Right. If I put 3, I will be getting 5. If I put 4, I will be getting 7. And what about my phase path difference? I can simply write this as, I know my lambda is equal to 2 pi. So what about pi? Pi can be written as lambda by 2. So whenever my path difference is equal to 2n minus 1, lambda by 2. In few of the books, they might have taken this n inside and they might have written as n minus 1 by 2 times lambda. And in few books, they might have written plus 1, plus. So if in book they are writing plus, why are you giving minus? Because if I put n is equal to 1, it means first destructive interference. If I put n is equal to 2, it means second destructive interference. But if you are following positive notation, then for n is equal to 0, it will be 1. For 1, it will be 2. For 2, it will become 3. For 3, it will become 4. That will lead to confusion. Therefore, if n is 1, first, n is 2, second, n is 3, third. Just follow that. Okay, just follow that. Any difficulty? I don't think so. And what about intensity? As it is, see, simply A minimum will be A1 minus A2, right? A minimum is equal to A1 minus A2. So I minimum will be equal to root of I1 minus root of I2 the whole square. Remember these formulas. Remember these formulas. Very, very, very much important. So let me take an empty slide, or else let me rub this. So in simple conclusion, my A maxima is equal to A1 plus A2. They are simply adding, right? They are simply going to get added. What will be my I maxima? Root of I1 plus root of I2 the whole square. Sir, I am getting confused. How, sir, you are putting this? See, whenever there is A, put root of I. So A max, root of I max. A1, root of I1. A2, root of I2. Just to simplify, I am going to take this root to another side and this will become square. Sir, can't we cancel all the root? No, you can't cancel that mathematically, because a plus b the whole square is only equal to what? A square plus 2ab plus b square. A square, okay, what I am trying to say, a square plus b square is not equal to a plus b the whole square. Okay. Okay. So you can't cancel the square and root. What will happen to my a minima? A minima is in opposite direction, sir. So a1 minus a2. a1 minus a2. I minimum will be what? Root of I1 minus root of I2 the whole square. Okay. A resultant can be given as a1 plus a2, a1 square plus a2 square plus 2 a1 a2 cos theta. Intensity resultant, actually this will be square. So intensity resultant will be I1 plus I2 plus 2 root of I1 root of I2 cos theta. So whatever is given in the question, based on that you solve the question. If A1 cos of theta by 2 will be equal to 4a square cos square theta by 2. Just remember all the thing. For constructive interference, my phase difference should be equal to 2 pi n, and my path difference should be equal to what? N into lambda, where n is equal to 1, 2, actually n can be 0 also here, 1, 2, 3. But if I put 1, it means first maximum. If I put 2, second maximum. Okay. For destructive interference, my phi can be equal to 2n minus 1 pi, or path difference will be equal to 2n minus 1 lambda by 2, where n is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. For here we don't, here we have 0. 0 means central maxima. Okay, primary 1. 1 means first maxima, 2 means second maxima, 3 means third maxima, 4 means fourth maxima. Here we don't have central minima. We have first minima, second minima, third minima. Okay. About this in depth we will be studying in wave optics. So two waves, we have two waves. One is this one, another is that one. You just use vector representation. If this is my sine theta, then I have a vector as A along this direction. And I have, what is 2 pi by 3? 120 degree. So I have another vector A, which is at angle of what? 120 degree. Correct? So there are two simple methods of solving the question. They are asking you to find the amplitude of the resultant. So A resultant can be given as root of A1 square plus A2 square plus 2A1 A2 cos theta. Right? So A1 is A, A2 is A. So plus 2A1 A2 cos of 120. What is cos of 120, sir? Minus 1 by 2. So I will be getting A square, and this will be minus 1 by 2. So 2 and this 2 will can cancel. So I will be getting root of A square, which is equal to simply A. Or else I can use the formula which I have given. If both the vectors are equal, then A resultant is equal to what? 2A cos of theta by 2. 2A. What is theta? 120. 120 by 2 will be 60. So cos 60 is equal to 1 by 2. Cancel them. You will be getting this. Any difficulty? Also, okay, let me give two additional formula. Okay, I will giving you later. Okay, here I shall give. They are giving I max by I minima. I max by I minima. Can I write this I max by I minima as A max square by A minimum square. Can I write it like this? Because I is proportional to A square. And I know that A max can be written as A1 plus A2. And A minima can be written as A1 minus A2 the whole square. Correct? Any difficulty? No, sir. And I max by I minima is given as what? 25:16. So I am getting my A max, right? If I take this term or this term, both are one or the same. By A minima is equal to, if I take square root, I will be getting 5/4. If I max and I minima are given, if I take square root, I will be getting A max by A minima. Because if I square A max by A minima, I will be getting I max by I minima. So A max by A minima is equal to 5/4. But they are asking me to find A1 by A2. Let me give you a shortcut trick. A1 by A2 is equal to A max plus A minima divided by A max minus A minima. Shortcut trick. Okay. Don't get confused. If they are asking A max by, if they have given A1, A2 and they are asking A max by A minima, then it is going to be A1 plus A2 divided by A1 minus A2. And if they are giving this one and they are asking this, just go for that. Remember this formula. A max is equal to A1 plus A2 divided, A minimum is equal to A1 minus A2. If they are giving A1 by A2, then A max plus A minima divided by A max minus A minima. Sir, I don't believe you, sir. Then what you should do is, we know that A1 plus A2, because A max by A minima is A1 plus A2, A1 minus A2. This value is equal to 5/4. You cross multiply it, solve it, simplify it, and you will be getting the same answer which I am going to write in single step. A1 by A2 is equal to, what is A max? 5. What is A minima? 4. Divided by A max 5, A minima 4. So what I am getting? 9:1. You can solve this. You take cross multiplication and do all the maths. You will be getting same answer. Okay. So you can do this in next slide also. If y1 is equal to 2 sine 2 pi and this is the phase, 4 sine 2 pi, this is the phase. They are asking me to find A maxima by A minima. If I take sine of 2 pi 10t minus 0.4x to be in this direction. So I have two vector. One is 2 and another one is 4. Correct? Because they are in the same direction. They are in the same direction. So what will be my A maximum, sir? My A maxima will be A1 plus A2. 1 is 4, another is 2, so 4 plus 2 is equal to 6. What will be my A minima, sir? A1 minus A2. So 4 minus 2, which is equal to 2. Right? Sir, if I put 2 minus 4, I will be getting minus 2. Minus is representing the resultant is in opposite direction. That's it. So I know A max, A minima, but they are asking me to find I max by I minima. Can I write I max by I minima is equal to A max by A minima the whole square? A max is 6, A minima is 2. So if I cancel 3 by 1, so 3 square is 9, 9 by 1. Any difficulty? So just try to solve questions based on this. I hope this lecture will be helpful for you. I am extremely sorry because the duration is little bit less. Okay. But I have to record this lecture at the end moment, and summary will be the same thing which I have already given you. Okay. So I shall copy and paste that again over here because I have summarized all the key formulas in this place. So you just need to remember this. Also the condition, okay, condition also I have given, right? So no issues. Okay. So A max is equal to A1 plus A2. A minima is equal to A1 minus A2. So most of the things are here. Just remember the formulas. If you have any doubt, you can definitely let me know. Okay. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much and have a nice day.